Hey everybody, this is our Jason and Bryan, our day 14 blog from Thailand, checking in on how things are going up to this point. We spent the first part of this trip, the first day or two of this trip, doing some touristy things and seeing the city of Bangkok. And then we spent the second part of this trip going into churches and doing some tribal ministry and all kinds of track ministry. But we're wrapping up this experience these last couple of days doing prison ministry. And because of the nature of that work, we aren't really allowed to tell you much about what's going on in the prison ministry. All we can really say is that it is intense. At times, it has been intimidating. The places that we've gone. I just got done teaching at a certain place that we went, and I met some incredible men who love the Lord, and I'm finding that it's really difficult to compute everything that's happened. So I said in an earlier blog that this whole trip has sort of left me reeling from culture shock, and we've gotten a very rural tribal experience, and we've been to orphanages, and we've been in cities and in small towns, and we've seen Bangkok, the busiest place I've ever been in my life, and it's just so much. And then to go into prisons where the legal system is so very different than home, and the prisoners' experience is so very different, has left me somewhat confused. So I'm going to let Jason share a little bit about how he feels, and then we'll sign off for the day.
I think the most interesting part of the prisons here is the believers inside. The few that I met greeted me with a kind of heartfelt love of Christ that I wouldn't generally be met with even walking into a church back home. The excitement and the happiness to be able to communicate with another brother openly about the Lord was evident in the way that they speak and the way they communicate with us. Even the way that they shake hands or move around one another is an act of respect and of love, and not just from the people from this Thai culture that's so ingrained in respectful body movements and gestures. People from all around the world react the same way here, and I'm wondering about being in a difficult situation, and how being in that situation affects a person's willingness to submit their life to Christ more fully,
Yeah.
emotionally and spiritually, and not just physically.
Yeah. We definitely can say that this experience has added a new dimension to the mission work that we've been involved with here. And again, we can't give you details, but I didn't expect it to be as hard as it's been, and I certainly didn't expect it to affect me as much as it has. On a side note, something that came to mind that we haven't really related with you that much on this trip is the scope of the multicultural experience that we're getting. We're by no means just interacting with Thais. Just on the way back from the prison today, we had Australians in the van with us. We are constantly surrounded by Filipino Christians that God has sent here. He has sent many people from Singapore and the Philippines to do the work of the gospel in Thailand. And everywhere you go, especially in Bangkok, you can see people. One of the large places that we went was called Future Park, gargantuan mall. We went there yesterday afternoon for a little while to do a little bit of shopping, and you're surrounded by Japanese and Chinese and people from Europe, and I've never been in a place where so many different languages are spoken. And the one unifying thing, no matter where we go, is that we're the only ones that speak one language. So that American joke is certainly true, that we typically don't know any other languages other than English, and sometimes we barely speak that. So
We hardly know any other cultures.
right, Right. So that's been a very humbling experience. I find myself apologizing for Hollywood and the way that that makes us look to the world. So Jason and I have really enjoyed the experience of meeting people from all over, and are already talking about some of the future experiences we'd like to have so that we can have some comparisons with Thailand. So we've gone kind of long in this blog. I'm sure the rest of the team is going to post soon. We're continuing to post backlogged videos. You're going to be seeing stuff from the Long Neck Village, things from Chiang Mai, things from Yehongsong, some airplane ride footage, things from the Holmes house. We still have so much to tell you about the experiences we've had in Bangkok itself, this city of 13 million people. So there is a lot to tell, and I apologize up front for the videos not being in order, but we got to the point where we were just posting as many as we could, as fast as we could. So try to keep it all sorted, and when we get back, we'll organize them and make it a little bit more presentable. Until then, God bless.